On this episode of Briggs Automotive, I'm going to show you how to sandblast, prep, and paint on my 2003 Cobra independent rear suspension. This episode, I'm going to show you how to sandblast and do everything right, prep it, and then get it ready for paint. Now, when you're doing this and you have bushings or anything like that, be very careful around the bushings because you can screw up the bushings. The sand will just eat the bushings away. However, if you're doing what I'm doing, which is you're going to replace the bushings to begin with anyway, you don't have to worry about it that much. Get all of the metal clean, and then when you press the other bushings out, it won't be that difficult. All right, so to begin with, you want to get your part as clean as possible because you really don't want to mess with the sand and get it dirty, get it all clumped up, dirty the sand in. You want to be able to just have a very clean piece that you can throw in there and get done. So I power washed this. I used some heavy duty degreaser chemicals and I didn't get all of it, although I did get most of it, and that's what you want. If you don't get all of it, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it, move on. The biggest part about making a paint job look good is the prep work, and that's where the sandblasting comes in. So if you can get this as clean as possible, all the rust, all the paint, all of the dirt off of it, it will make your paint job that much better. All right, and I'm gonna go with a 3-step paint here. I'm basically gonna try to make this as durable as possible, as close as I can to a powder coat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Rust-Oleum Stops Rust. I'm gonna use their automotive primer. I'm gonna do 3 coats of their automotive primer. I'm gonna use their Stops Rust semi-gloss protective enamel because I'm expecting this to harden and be a really tough coating to get through. Since we're in the salt belt, it's going to be very tough in the winter, and I'm curious to see how this stuff is going to perform. And then I'm going to go with their Rust-Oleum Satin Clear, again, still with the Stops Rust brand. And all right, guys, let's get to work. So in order to set up this sandblaster, you're going to need 3 things. You're going to need 2 power outlets for the vacuum and for the machine itself for the light. And then you're going to need an air hose. Once you get those 3 things set up, it's time to grab your part and get to work. All right, guys, so what you're going to want to do is take the sandblast nozzle, grab your part, and just pull the trigger. Now, don't expect to get immediate results. It does take a while. But if you take your time and prep well, the painting should go easily. All right, guys, so I'm going to start on the painting part of this whole ordeal. Before you start painting anything, especially metal, what you're going to want to do is take prep ball or a wax and grease remover and wipe the whole thing down. Make sure you get all of the wax and grease off of it so that it doesn't contaminate the paint. But look at all of the dirt that came off of that part. That's just from one time over. Okay, so when you're gonna start painting, always make sure to read the can of the type of paint that you're gonna use. This one says, preparation, make sure to remove all loose rust and dirt with a wire brush or sandpaper. We did that by sandblasting it, and it says that you should apply 2 or more light coats a few minutes apart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply 3 total coats. All right, coat number 2. All right, so when you're gonna start painting, you need to do the same thing. Read the can, make sure you know what you're doing. I'm gonna start with a really light tack coat. That way everything else sits nice and sturdy and safe. And then it'll go on thicker after that. All right, so I raised it up so hopefully I don't miss any spots. And I've got an extra light, so hopefully it'll help you guys see this, because it is gonna get dark. Coat number 2.